Listen, I know y'all probably just clicked on this if y'all watching this after I went live and wondering what is that Dominican flag doing behind you? That flag is never usually there. Listen, rooting for Dominican fighters is like rooting for the Knicks. You never know when you're gonna get a win. So when you get a win, celebrate them. Celebrate them. And my man Hector Garcia, my Dominican brother, went to Las Vegas on short notice and took on an undefeated Chris Colbert, a highly regarded up and coming prospect, and beat him. And beat him convincingly. Two judges had it 10-2, and one judge had it 11-1. So this was a dominant performance. Dropped them in everything. In case there was any discrepancy as to who won that fight. Shout out to Hector Garcia. I'm gonna enjoy this win. I really, really liked what I saw. His right hook just seemed like it couldn't miss, especially in the first 3 to 4 rounds. I want to say after that, he started having success to the body. He started having success with the left hand. So he kind of got away with that right hook. But man, I came out thoroughly impressed with this man. And I that whole card, honestly, that whole card was entertaining, man. That Uncajas Martinez fight was absolute. That was an absolute war. That's the fight that brings people back to boxing, man. And I know Martinez pretty much dominated, but at no point did Ancajas give up. And Martinez, we have to give him credit. Man, that guy took shots and kept coming through and kept imposing his will, and to the point Ancajas realized that his punches weren't hurting Martinez. Uh, I do like the fact that Ancajas seemed to never really stop trying to win. So he didn't quit at all. He kept trying to win. Shout out to Ancajas. I don't want to have nothing bad to say about him. He took a L, but it looks like he took a L to the better fighter. It was pretty clear to me who won that fight, and Martinez deserved to win that fight. There's a rematch clause. It was such a one-sided affair. I'm not sure, he'll exercise that rematch, but I found that very interesting. A very interesting fight, very entertaining fight. Again, I never heard of Martinez before then, so this was a breath of fresh air in terms of that's how you start a night. Start a night of boxing. That's how you open up a card, man. That was a good Showtime card. Then you have the Victor Postol, Gary Antoine Russell fight. I was personally rooting for Victor Postol for obvious reasons, man. He got his family out in the Ukraine. I felt like he landed a lot of punches on Postol. Gary Antoine Russell does seem to have a leaky defense, if we're being honest with each other. And part of that is that he's just an aggressive fighter. And when you're an aggressive fighter trying to get knockouts, you're going to get touched up. Part of it's that. And part of it, I felt like he at times got careless. At times he would get caught in between shots, or he would get caught with shots I think he shouldn't have. He still has a lot to work with, to be fair, but also let's not take away credit from Postol. Postol's a tough fighter. Postol has only lost to the elite fighters. I hated the stoppage, by the way. That was a terrible stoppage. I don't know why they stopped that fight. Victor Postol definitely deserved to finish that fight. He deserved to not have that KO stoppage on his record. But that's neither here nor there. Also, the Josh Taylor-Jack Catterall fight. Listen, man. I thought Jack Catterall won. Jack Catterall even dropped his little baby ass. Like, straight up put in a great performance. He was using his jab fantastically, was bothering with his jab, and was landing the left hand, dare I say, almost at will. It's almost like the thing that hurts Catterall's position as to make a strong argument he got robbed, which I think he got robbed, but let's just say you want to argue that he didn't, is that he did fade towards the last, 2-3 rounds or something like that. And, in the championship boxing fight, especially undisputed, you got to close the show, man. You want to win, you got to close the show. And he ran out of gas at the end, but I felt he won. I don't care what anybody says, and I'm, not playing politics or anything like that, but that's just straight up. I thought Catterall won. But yo, man, I'm excited, man. We finally got another Dominican boxer on the come up. And as it seems like I want to say PBC is investing a lot in Dominicans, and that's good. And maybe we don't hit on a few fighters. Maybe there's a few fighters we're not gonna hit on, but they may be some who we do. You got what you call it. We got Elvis Rodriguez, who that's the Dominican I'm highest on. Probably Hector Garcia is a second now, or probably first. Who knows? I got to see a little bit more of both of them, to be honest. You got Elvis Rodriguez. You got Hector Garcia, who just got an upset win yesterday. You got Michelle Rivera, who a lot of people are high on. Albert Puello. Who else is Dominican? Jason Rosario, Carlos Adames. Although they're older, but still, they're still players in the middleweight division. You know, we got that kid Luis Nunez, who just won on Showbox. The point is that there's been a lot of investment in Dominican boxing, and I'm excited. And by the way, today's the Dominican Independence Day. The Dominican Independence Day, and we're celebrating today with a big win that we got last night, man. A big win. That was a big win that Hector Garcia did. And also what helps Hector Garcia is that he fought a guy from New York, meaning, if a lot of people don't know, New York City, 50% of the Latino community is Dominicans. So the fact that Chris Colbert's from Brooklyn, he had a lot of New York attention watching on Showtime last night. Believe me, he had a lot of attention coming from New York. And you already know in New York, there's a lot of Dominicans. So even if you weren't familiar with Hector Garcia before, now you are, because he just got an upset dominant win against Chris Colbert, one of the hottest prospects, one of the guys that people were very high on. They have a whole documentary on him. Like, you get what I'm saying? People were high on Chris Colbert, whether you were personally or you weren't. I'm just saying the consensus around the boxing world is that Chris Colbert was somebody to watch out for. And my man Hector Garcia, my Dominican brother, got an upset win. And I'm excited, man. And I'm not going to apologize for being excited. Yes, us Dominicans, we don't get a lot of wins in the boxing world. Maybe people usually tell us to stick to baseball and all that, but you can't tell us that last night, man. You cannot tell us that last night. Our undefeated Olympian went up against, another undefeated Olympian. Because Chris Colbert qualified at the Olympics, but he wanted money so bad he just went pro and didn't go to the Olympics. So it was two, Olympians, two undefeated prospects going up against each other. And my Dominican brother took it on short notice and beat him. And not only did he beat him clearly without his trainer in his corner. Because his trainer, Ismail Salas, was in Scotland with Robesi Ramirez. That was a big, big win, man. And now his next fight is probably going to be against Gutierrez for the WBA strap. Man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. They should put that man in the United Palace in Washington Heights. That's a venue that holds over 3,000 people, or put up a stacked Dominican card and put it up in Madison Square Garden on the theater on the eve of the Dominican Day Parade. There's a lot of ways you can create interest in these Dominican fighters. It can't just be, oh, we have a good fighter. You have to make it an event. If you want to promote to Dominicans, you have to make the fights an event. Make it where somebody's performing, or it's tied to a promoter who's having a big after party afterwards. There's a lot of ways to get creative. A lot of ways to get creative. But man, yesterday, I don't even want to say last night, because yesterday we also have Jack Catterall versus Josh Taylor. Yesterday was the whole day was a good night of boxing. Good night of boxing. Because the Jack Catterall Josh Taylor fight, it was controversial, and I thought Catterall won, but at the same time, it was an entertaining fight. It wasn't a trash fight. You know what I'm saying? Josh Taylor was coming back with body shots. He did make Catterall fade a little bit, and he did give Catterall did give Josh Taylor trouble, obviously, because I think he won. Dropped him too, man. I did think that the refereeing was fucking horrible. I felt like that dude wanted to be involved so bad. He wanted to be part of the story so bad that he decided to interject every time they were in the inside fucking fighting. Every time they were, there was a hold, he was giving warnings. And I just felt he was way too involved. He should have been a little bit more verbal with his instructions. Stopping the action consistently to warn fighters ruins the momentum of the fight, ruins the rhythm of a certain fighters for certain fighters. I didn't like the performance of that referee, but I don't think it would have made a difference what referee was there. My man Jack Catterall did a great job. And yo, and I gotta give credit to Aaron. I don't know where if he's gonna watch this, but Aaron, he's a subscriber of mine from Australia. He told me about Jack Catterall. He told me, listen, I'm predicting that Catterall outboxes and beats Josh Taylor. I told him he was crazy. I was wrong. I was wrong. I listen, man. To be fair, I had only done my research at that point on Jack Catterall. I only had seen one fight. I've seen more fights since then, but I'm talking about when Aaron told me this, my guy from Australia. When he told me I had only seen one fight, and I ain't see enough to think he was gonna beat Josh Taylor. Then I saw a few more fights. I knew the guy was talented. And when I say talented is I knew the guy wasn't a bum. I knew the guy was going to go in there and put up a good fight. But I just thought Taylor hits too hard. Taylor has too much experience. Taylor's too big. And he eventually would have got the win. Eventually would have took over and dominated and got the stoppage. And boy, was I wrong. So shout out to Aaron for calling that one out. Even though no, Catterall did not get the decision. In my view and in everybody's view, that man deserved it. Yeah, man. Boy Garcia gave him that work. Absolutely, Angel Perez. Abso-fucking-lutely. My man, that's why I got my flag out here, man. I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating, man. I ain't letting nobody fucking tell me to calm down. It's just one win. Fuck that. I'm celebrating. My Dominican brother got an upset win on free national television on Showtime the day before the Dominican Day Parade, a fight that he took on short week notice. You expect me not to be excited? Woo! My Dominican brother, I'm telling you, if y'all think I'm a loudmouth now, don't let Dominicans start taking over boxing. Don't let Dominicans start taking over boxing. I'll be on here every day flipping on y'all. Every day flipping on y'all, man. Shout out to the Dominican Republic. Shout out to Hector Garcia for giving me a great night of boxing yesterday. That was an upset I was not expecting. I was expecting, because he took the fight on short notice. I seen that one fight he had against Isaac Avalar. And Avalar is, somewhat of just a journeyman and dropped him. I didn't like the fact that he got dropped by Avalar, a guy who got knocked out by 122-pound, Stephen Fulton. And Stephen Fulton's not even a puncher. So I didn't like that. I to be honest with you, I really didn't. So that had me worried. But he came out and he proved me wrong. Muhammad, what's up? My man from the UK. Absolute robbery. They need to overturn that result. That was shocking. Yo, what's up with the UK and these badass decisions, man? Yo, it's crazy. It's getting crazy. It's getting out of hand, man. It's getting out of hand. And Josh Taylor after the fight tried to say he's like, oh, he needs to move up in weight. But what I saw was a game plan problem, was a lack of adjusting problem. It wasn't no weight drain problem. It wasn't Josh Taylor fading at the end. It wasn't Josh Taylor who couldn't take it to the body. If it was those things, then I could say, oh, all right, maybe the weight excuse is real. But that's not the case. That's not the case. He just got outboxed by the better man. Got outboxed. He just couldn't really land clean on Catterall's head. And even when he was landing to the body, some of those arm shots were getting blocked or whatever. And maybe they look good on camera, but they were getting blocked. Mayweather Philly shell that Catterall was doing from the southpaw stance, that was giving Taylor problems, man. That was giving Taylor problems. It really was. Don't come to the UK if you want to win a boxing match. Our judges will rob you. Listen, this is a UK subscriber keeping it real. That's why I fuck with Muhammad. Shout out to Muhammad, man. Muhammad Zishan. Now it's the real shit. Yo, at some point, god damn, man. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. Undisputed on ESPN Plus. That was a bad look for boxing, man. What do you think are the next super lightweight fights that are gonna happen? Well, It looks like Gary Antwell Russell is only going to step up forward after this. He's only going to fight good fighters. You don't go from fighting Victor Posto to fighting a journeyman. I don't know. Is Subir Matias ready for that smoke? Is Elvis Rodriguez ready for that smoke? I don't know. I'm not saying that they are or aren't. I'm asking. Brandon Lee, what's up? You guys, you're going to keep fighting journeyman, or you guys want to step up? Because Elvis Rodriguez's last opponent was undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Who Brandon Lee fought last? Hold on. Because at some point, you know, these guys, they 25, 26, 27. You can't be babying these guys. Hold on. I'm gonna check with Brandon Lee. Don't worry. I already told y'all who what's his name? Elvis Rodriguez fought last. He fought an undefeated Olympian. So obviously they're trying to move him fast too. You know, Subrio Matias, he just avenged his loss. What's up with him, man? What's up with him? I would love to see that. Definitely believe Catterall deserved that W. Absolutely. Absolutely. Catterall looks so calm and composed the whole fight. Absolutely. Yeah, what I like so much is that he made it his fight. Because Josh Taylor was trying to make it a firefight because he knew he was the bigger, stronger fighter in there. But that wasn't Catterall knew his role. He knew he wasn't a puncher. He knew he was facing a puncher and a guy with more experience. So he's like, you know what? I'm not going to trade with him. I'm going to just box him. Anytime he comes forward, I'm going to hit him with the Philly shell. And Taylor couldn't adjust to the Philly shell. Taylor couldn't adjust to that Mayweather defense. He really couldn't. And his jab was pumping. Every time he threw that left hand, that straight left hand, it was landing, even dropped him. It was a great performance by Jack Catterall. And I feel so bad that he went to Scotland, the guy's hometown, and took a fucking L for no reason. Because that man should have been undisputed. But to be fair, well, not to be fair, but he is now a player in the 140 division. Remember, if y'all know me, if y'all been watching my channel, y'all know I'm high on the 140-pound division. Listen, a lot of y'all haven't heard of some of these prospects before I put y'all on. Or the Superior Matias and the Elvis Rodriguez. Some of you guys never heard of them. Obviously, some of you have, but like, I've always been high in this division. You know, Zepeda, Pedraza Ramirez's next fight. You asking me, hold on. You asking me what's the next big fight that's going to happen? For Pedraza Ramirez is happening next week on Friday. There you go. When's the next big 140 fight? Jose Ramirez versus Jose Pedraza. Not only is this Puerto Rico versus Mexico, this is also in the 140 division, which is the hottest division in boxing. And it's two former world champions. I don't understand why this fight hasn't had more fans excited. That's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. Do you think Lopez beat Josh Taylor now? I'm not going to entertain the question, only because Josh Taylor said he's moving up to 147. He said that the weight cut was too much, that he felt a little weak, and all of this to me sounds like excuses, to be honest with you. But hey, man, you gotta take a man at his word. If the man says he's moving up afterwards, I'm not gonna entertain a question when I feel both of them are coming off losses. You know what I'm saying? Even though, yes, Josh Taylor got the decision, in my eyes, he's coming off a loss. He's coming off a loss, man. But yo, it's Dominican Day Parade. Dominican Independence Day. Woo! Coming off a big win, Hector Garcia. Yes, if he just kept up those last few rounds, but man, look at the box counts. Taylor wasn't landing anything clean. Everything that Catterall landed clean. No, I agree, man. I agree. What hurt him is those championship rounds, the last 3-4 rounds. He kind of faded a little bit. And you know these judges, man. These judges, they have to be convinced by you got to beat the fuck out of somebody sometimes. Look, Mayweather won 12-0 against Canelo and got a draw on one of the scorecards. See what I'm saying? Had that fight been an 8-4 fight, let's just say, a fight where clearly, Mayweather won. He won 8 rounds to 4. That judge probably would have fucking had it, 10-2 for Canelo. So you see what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to dominate, or you got to do your best. Do what you would do in the first round. Do that shit in the 12th. And Catterall kind of faded in the last 2-3 rounds, and that's what cost him the fight. To be honest with you, if those judges were being honest on how they were judging, or if they were already corrupted, hey, what are you gonna do? But he got the scorecards on one of them. I can see Lopez beating that Taylor that showed up yesterday. Yeah. No. I listen. I'm not gonna dismiss Teofimo Lopez beating Josh Taylor. The only thing is, I just hope Teofimo learns a little bit more defense, because I know he can take. I know he's a tough guy. I know he hits hard. I know he's explosive, has fast hands. But in a Kambosos fight, I felt like, one, he lacked the game plan. He was too willing to make it a fucking war when, that's not how you last in boxing, and that's also not how you win in boxing, if we're being honest. Like Arturo Gatti, we love Arturo Gatti, but if we're being honest, he was just a brawler. Now, he wasn't just a brawler. That's a bad way to say it. But at times he would get into these unnecessary wars where it costed either one, the fight, because honestly, there were some fights he would have won had he kept boxing, or two, it cost him his health. Like, getting punched in the head. So I do hope that Teofimo Lopez, is rumored that he's going to have Eddie Reynoso as a co-trainer. Hopefully they can clean up his defense, because I know he has the offense. I know he has the heart to come forward. I know he has the heart to trade. I just want him to be smarter, counter a little bit more, set up the knockout. That's the most important thing I want him to learn from Eddie Reynoso, is to learn how to set up the knockout. But yeah, I'm a fan of Teofimo Lopez, so that might be a little bit biased. But again, if he just works on his defense, I think the kid could be special, but not until he works on that defense. Do you think judges don't like defensive fighters? I mean, there are some judges that prefer offensive fighters, and there's some that prefer boxing. There's some that score blood. Sometimes you'll cut a fighter, but let's say you get cut in a third round, right? But you won the round, right? You beat the guy up, but you just got cut. There's some judges that go, yeah, but you got cut in that round, so I'm going to give it to the other fighter. They'll ignore all the work you did in the round just because you got cut. So there's different ways of judging. Like me particularly, I like more a boxer. I like a boxer more that's showing skill in terms of how I judge. And so when I see a fighter just brawling and getting in there and pushing, and sometimes when you see a fighter coming forward and doing all this extra shit, they're not really doing much. Sometimes they're just pushing and shoving and landing one punch, and it looks like they did a lot. So I like to see clean, crisp punches. That's what I like to see. That's how I judge. But yes, there are some judges that prefer a certain style, to answer your question. I heard Catterall had trained with Canelo and Mayweather at a point in his career, so he has stuff in his bag. Yeah, and I also heard he trained with Amir Khan, Colbert. I'm like, yo, this guy has a lot of sparring experience. And I know it's just sparring. I know a lot of people, oh, what the fuck is just sparring? But yo, if you in the ring with Mayweather and Canelo, that could only make you better. That could only make you better. Or you could get fucked up. But usually when you get beat up, they don't call you back for sparring. They'll be like, that guy was a bum, man. That guy's not gonna make me better. But if they kept calling him, that means he was doing good things in the ring. And if you sparring Mayweather, one of the greatest of all time, Canelo, one of the greatest Mexicans of all time, future Hall of Famer, Amir Khan, who, yes, we'd like to make fun of his chin, but if we're being honest, when he was in his prime, he was a really, really good champion. Colbert, again, same thing. Before he started getting his face broken in by Triple G and Errol Spence, was a good fighter. He beat Sean Porter. So if you're getting all this sparring experience in the ring, you could definitely transfer that experience to fight night, for sure. And you got to remember, this fight was delayed because Josh Taylor had caught COVID last year. So this guy has been training and watching video and sparring, thinking about Josh Taylor for like the last 6-7 months. It's kind of somewhat similar to what happened with the Kambosos Teo situation. The fight kept getting delayed. The fight kept getting delayed. The fight kept getting delayed. That only gave Kambosos more and more time to train for Teo. So that was what happened. That was what happened here. I felt like he got a lot of time to train for Josh Taylor and came with a fantastic game plan. And Josh Taylor overlooked him. I was hearing Josh Taylor in press conferences say, "Oh, I wouldn't mind to fight Teofimo to teach him a lesson. Maybe I move up to 147 and fight Jack Catterall, hear me? Terrence Crawford. Who knows? I'm in the right division between 135 and 147, doing all this talking before the fight." And that's what Teo was doing. Teo was talking about Devin Haney and Lomachenko and Tank Davis and moving up and fighting Josh Taylor. And then he ended up getting beat by Kambosos. Same thing, Josh Taylor talk about Teofimo, talk about Terrence Crawford, talk about Errol Spence, and I don't give a fuck what the judges say. And then he goes get beat. So focus is a big part of boxing. You got to focus on your target. You can't overlook anybody in this sport. You know, that's one thing that your trainer should always stress to you. Look what happened with Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. You don't think Mike Tyson overlooked Buster Douglas? And upsets happen. Look, Chris Colbert probably overlooked Hector Garcia. Oh, this guy's coming off 2-3 weeks notice. He ain't gonna come in shape. He ain't gonna come ready. I was about to fight for a world title. This dude never even fought in the title eliminator. And then boom, my Dominican brother Hector Garcia came in and put in a great performance, a dominant performance. And you could say, oh, Chris Colbert didn't have an 8-week training camp to get ready for him, but neither did Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia took this fight on short week notice. So upsets happen in boxing, man. And Jack Catterall and Hector Garcia, 2 fighters came, and Fernando Martinez, 3 fighters came ready, came as the underdog and came ready to prove that they weren't the underdog, came ready to upset the apple cart. Yo, you imagine that parlay if you had, Catterall lost, so that's a bad example. But let's say he would have got the decision. You would have had Catterall, Fernando Martinez, and Hector Garcia on a parlay. You would have hit big in the casino. Are you watching the Lawrence Okoli fight today or not? Of course, man. Of course. I know the undercard started, but honestly, and I know you from the UK, you probably gonna get mad. I say this, but like, some of the UK fighters, man, that should be unwatchable. Like, no disrespect. I'm talking about the British level shit. I'm not talking about like Tyson Fury. I'm not talking about Josh Taylor. Like, these are world level champions. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about when these fighters are fucking like the undercards, man, there'd be some dudes I'd be never heard of. But yes, to answer your question, Muhammad, I am gonna watch the Lawrence Okoli fight. I wish fighters in the cruiserweight division stop ducking him, man. I think he has a lot of personality. I think he has a lot of power. He reminds me in terms of body shape, not necessarily skills. Body shape, he reminds me of Deontay Wilder. I like him. I want to see more of him, and I wish more cruiserweight fighters would fight him. Put it like this, I wish Brady's, instead of fucking tattooing Jake Paul, saying he wants to fight Jake Paul, would fight him and unify, man. Let's get like that. You want to get me interested in a division? Start unifying, man. Start showing me that your division's important. Yeah, man, he should have focused on Catterall. Nah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And Chris Colbert should have focused on Hector Garcia, my Dominican brother, the day before Dominican Independence Day, gets an upset win. Let me enjoy this win, baby. We got one for DR, man. We got a DR, man. We got one for DR. He's fighting for the title next. He's fighting Roger Gutierrez next. That's what it's looking like. This was a title eliminator. Let's see. Now he's in the mandatory position. And also what I liked about Hector Garcia, because there's one thing that us Dominican fighters happen a lot to, is Some Dominican fighters, we start off good. The first 5-6 rounds, you'd be like, oh shit, my man gonna win. My man is gonna win. And then he starts getting tired. That's what happens with a lot of Dominican fighters. They get tired after the 5th and 6th round. This dude was turning up. He was turning, if I'm not mistaken, he dropped Colbert in the 7th. So, you know, in the middle of the rounds, he had energy to drop this dude. I loved it, man. I loved it. Some of those UK fighters be having like 3 wins, 100 losses. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who's your favorite heavyweight? Listen, at one point it was Joshua. I'll be honest, it was AJ, but this whole how he's been acting lately, how he fought against Usyk, I don't have a favorite heavyweight. Put it like that. It used to be AJ. That's it. I took my fandom away from AJ. How he fought against Usyk was terrible. He came with a terrible game plan, came with a scared game plan where he was clearly the bigger man, clearly the bigger puncher, and clearly anytime he would hit Usyk to the body, he would hurt him. And he didn't continue that. So I also don't like that AJ was joking around like, oh yeah, maybe Tyson Fury can train me, you know, ha ha ha. Yeah, because Tyson Fury was like, oh, he's a bum. He needs me to train him. That he said he's looking for a trainer. Come to the Crunk style. He's like, maybe I should go to Crunk and train with Tyson. Maybe we could get in there and spar and laughing and smiling. It's like, yeah, stop all that fucking smiling shit, bro. Like, you just lost, bro. Like, you should be upset. You should be angry. You should be like, nah, man. I like angry, mean fighters and I feel like AJ doesn't have that killer instinct. So he used to be my favorite heavyweight. And I still believe in his talent, believe it or not. I just don't trust his chin and I don't trust his mentality. So right now, I really don't have a favorite heavyweight. I'm not a fan of Wilder because of what he did to Mark Breland. Mark Breland's a Brooklyn fighter. A former Brooklyn champion. And maybe you can say that I'm being biased because he did Mark Breland dirty because he's from Brooklyn. But even if Breland wasn't from Brooklyn, man, that was wrong what he did. Accuse a guy of spiking your drink and doing all these excuses and saying that the suit was too heavy. It was like constant excuse after excuse. So that's why I don't like Wilder. And I don't like Tyson Fury because he's a fucking weirdo. So I really don't have a favorite heavyweight. I really don't. Woo! Hector Garcia was awesome. I'm going to watch it again today. Shout out to Boxing Learner, man. Yo, are you a content creator? Let me know so we can do a collab or something. I'll have you on my show. I don't know if you're a content creator or if that's just you on here because you want to learn about boxing and you listening to this smart young man who's celebrating his Dominican win yesterday. Let me enjoy this. I know y'all like, damn, he overkilling it. Let me enjoy this. Us Dominicans, we don't get a lot of these. We don't get a lot of these wins. Let me enjoy this win, man. It's the Dominican Independence Day today. Today. So I'm celebrating, man. I'm celebrating. My Dominican brother got a W for me today. Yo, Coach Frankie, what's up, my brother? Shout out to you. Yo, this is how disrespectful I am. I ain't even pinned the link to the top of the chat. In case, I don't know which one, if anybody here is Dominican. But if y'all Dominican and y'all want to celebrate with your Dominican brother, please do me the favor. Click that link and call in, man, so we can have a conversation. We can have a conversation. We can celebrate together. Because, hold on, let me pin it to the top of the chat. But yeah, I'm excited about this win. As you guys can tell, I got my Dominican flag, so I'm definitely excited. All right, it's pinned to the top of the chat. Anybody who wants to call in, feel free. We could have you could be a part of the conversation. But yeah, man, there's a lot of good fights. Anything y'all want to talk about the fights last night, or y'all want to ask any questions about anything coming up? Doesn't have to be about last night. Obviously, that's the topic at hand. But if you guys want to switch it up, we can. Chocolatico fights on Saturday. Damn, man, yo, the boxing schedule. I love this boxing schedule. That's the one dynamic I do like about boxing is that there's always a lot of fights, man. Always a lot of fights. But yeah, man. But to me, the fight of the night last night, to be honest, and I know I'm here and I'm Dominican and I want to celebrate Dominican Independence Day with my flag. But the best fight of the night last night, including the UK card, was definitely, and I mean definitely, that Ancajas Martinez fight. Shout out to them, man. That was that was a great fight. Fantastic. Oh, got a caller. Boxing Outsider. What's up, my brother?
What's up, man? Oh man, I
What
want to
hold,
congratulate. I want to
oh, thank you.
congratulate your Dominican brother, bro. I knew from the first round when he landed that body shot, I knew that something was different about this dude.
Yo, I appreciate that. The congratulations. But before I continue the conversation, what's your name? Where you from?
I'm Justin. I'm from Texas.
All right. Yo, but thank you for the congratulations, man. We us Dominicans, I don't know how closely you follow boxing. We don't have a lot of good boxes.
Mhm.
I like what I saw last night. I don't think that was a one-hit wonder, is what I'm saying.
Me either.
Yeah, because he came to fight. And if you saw early in the, I want to say the first 4 or 5 rounds, yo, that right hook was landing and it was landing hard.
Yeah.
I also like how patient he was. He was very patient. He kept them at a distance. And when Colbert resulted to running, he didn't go, fuck it, I'm going to chase him. He was like, okay, if you're going to run, I'm going to let you use all your energy and I'm going to just keep pacing forward, pacing
Yep.
forward, pacing forward. And it worked for him.
And then he stopped running, and then he started teeing off on him.
Yeah. I was very impressed. And it's not, I like the fact that he didn't squeak out a win. He fucking went over there and took that win.
Dominated him.
Dominated. So that's what I like about it. So he made a statement because, this was Colbert's coming out party.
Yep.
This was his next fight was going to be a world title fight. Now, you know who's going to be in that world title fight? Hector Garcia, my Dominican brother. I'm going to go hard for this dude, man. He gave me a great night of boxing last night.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him, bro.
For real, man. He gained he listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm Dominican, but I wasn't aware of him before this. He made me aware. I'm gonna follow him and I'm gonna support him. He made a new fan in me today.
Yo, did you see the people standing up in the crowd because they knew he was winning?
Yeah. Hell yeah. It looked like he had a little bit of like, I don't know if he has family out there or friends, but he had a little bit of a crowd with him on ringside.
Yeah, even some people that wasn't with him. I saw some people that wasn't with him that was standing up because they knew he was winning.
You know why? That fight was in Vegas, so you know damn well they a lot of people bet on the underdog, so they were excited. They're like, "Yeah, you won me money." What were the odds? I don't even know.
I don't even know.
Let me see what were the odds. Hector Garcia versus Chris Colbert odds. Oops, my bad. Yeah, because somebody hit big on that. Somebody hit big. Hold on 1 second. But what do you think? Did you see the damn? Yo, listen. If you would have bet $100, just $100 on Hector Garcia, you would have won $3,300.
God damn.
And those gambling addicts in Vegas be betting like 500, 1,000, 2,000. They high rollers out there. So if you bet 2,000 on Garcia, you made over 10 G's.
Damn, that's crazy.
When the crowd started chanting Garcia, Garcia, I was watching the fight with my pops. Man, we were excited. We were happy, man. We were very happy. But what did you think of the Catterall Taylor fight? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. I thought the fight was terrible, but I thought the majority of the first half of the fight, Catterall was dominating him. The jab, the straight left was perfect. Landing straight on Taylor. Taylor, he made no adjustments. To me, he kept doing the same thing, and he kept getting when he tried to get on the inside, he kept getting held.
Not what that reminded me of was when Tio came out against Cambosos and just really didn't have a game plan and didn't really try to figure out a game plan mid-fight. And that's kind of what I felt about Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor was like, fuck it, I'm big, I'm strong, I hit hard. Eventually, I'm going to get to him.
Yeah, but that was a better fight.
What was a better fight?
Tio versus Cambosos.
No, I agree. That was a more competitive fight. They each hit the deck, as opposed to in this fight, only Taylor got dropped.
Mm.
But no, I'm just saying like the I guess for lack of a better term, I'm gonna use Max Kellerman's words. The story of the fight
All right.
is similar.
Okay.
But yeah, man. All
Man.
right, man. Anything else you gotta tell me? You want to talk about before I let you go? The
I haven't seen.
Ancajas fight.
I didn't see that one, so I got to go see it. I was surprised he got upset though.
Oh, bro, you got to go watch that again, man. That
Uh,
was a war. Fernando Martinez, he definitely made a statement. And
bro, well, hold on before I go. I've been noticing about these Argentinian guys. These new ones, they got a lot of energy and they can throw a lot of punches.
now, yo, I always been a fan of Argentinian fighters, whether it be Marcos Maidana, Sergio Martinez, um, Lucas Matisse. I mean, to be fair, I wasn't a huge Lucas Matisse fan. I was more of a Maidana and Sergio Martinez
Yeah, me
fan.
too.
But point is, they always, I feel like Argentinian fighters always come to fight. Even the ones that lose, even the ones that aren't that good, they always come to fight, and they always put up a good performance. And listen, that Fernando Martinez guy, man, he put in a great performance. And again, he's also somebody who gained the fan. I'm definitely gonna follow him on Instagram or any social media he got.
All right. All right, I gotta go. I'm gonna watch the fight. I gotta see it myself.
Yeah, for sure. Watch that, man. Yo, hit that subscribe button if you haven't, bro.
All right.
And that like button. I appreciate you for calling in, though.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Peace. Shout out to boxing. Was it Outsider or Learner or something like that? Shout out to him for calling in. With shout out to Isam J. With T.O. and Colbert losing, who is next to bat for Brooklyn? We got Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga, one of the most popular fighters on this channel. Because I'll be going live, and honestly, the people have stopped asking about Berlanga for a bit, but for a minute, people kept asking about Berlanga. Berlanga fights in 2 weeks. Yeah, I believe he fights in 2 weeks, bro. So Edgar Berlanga, he fights Steve Rose, who's not a bum. It's a decent step up in competition. So yeah, that's who's next up in Brooklyn. Richardson Hitchens is from Brooklyn as well. I do wish he was more active. He is a good defensive fighter. He's very slick. He does lack power. He is in the 140 division, so a fight with him and Gary Antoine Russell wouldn't be crazy. For those who asking what's next for Gary Antoine Russell. What else? Who else is from Brooklyn? That's pretty much it. As far as like young up and coming fighters, it's pretty much Edgar Berlanga and Richardson Hitchens, the ones that we really got to look out for. Everybody else, like, either it's older or already taken a few L's. So up and coming, those two. So who will be Lopez's first fight at 140? There's plenty of solid options. From what I hear, it's gonna be Arnold Barboza, the undefeated 140 pounder. Shout out to Sanchez. He's not on here right now, but he was the one who put me on with Barboza. And I honestly think that's a little bit of a tough fight considering, T.O. came off a pretty, a tough fight against Kambosos. He got cut. He just lost the biggest fight in his like in a big upset fashion in his hometown. I think he needs a soft touch, to be honest with you. So he needs a soft touch, but apparently they don't want it. They want to go straight for the big dogs, and they talking Arnold Barboza. So yeah, that's the only rumored one I heard. I would love to see him fight like, what was it, Cletus Selden to moving up, an easier touch. But I've also heard Jose Cepeda. Jose Cepeda is rumored to fight Tio for the WBC eliminated. Like, that was a rumor. That's the only other rumor I've heard. And they're both on the PBC side, so I don't look at that as a unreasonable matchup. The link is on the top to call in. Absolutely, yes, Coach Frankie. Click the link at the top of the chat. It'll take you to a website, and you can call in, and you can have a conversation with me. Tio should fight Catterall. That would be an interesting fight. Both two fighters coming off losses. Tio, he's always said he loves fighting southpaws. I've always heard him say that. And if you guys remember what he did to Diego Magdaleno, he beat the fuck out of Diego Magdaleno, styled on him, punched him from behind his back. and then he beat Loma. So I've only seen him do fantastic things against southpaws. So I wouldn't be too against that fight. But again, Catterall looked like a very tricky fighter with that shoulder roll. Again, if I'm Tio's manager, I'm moving him a little slower. I'm not going to throw him in with the wolves just yet. I know he wants to. I know he's a real fighter. I know he wants to prove he's the best, but I wouldn't just throw him in against Catterall, especially a tricky fighter. If anything, if you're going to throw him in tough against an offensive fighter, because that's Tio's world. He likes, to rough and tumble a little bit. And again, if he's working with Eddie Reynoso, he will learn how to be a little bit sharper with his punches, and he will learn a little bit more defensive moves where an offensive fighter, he'll be more susceptible to that. But I got another caller. Shout out to my man, Coach Frankie. What's up, my brother?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How's everything with you?
Oh, man. Long night last night.
Yo, man, bro. I don't know where you calling. Where you calling from?
Vegas.
Vegas. All right. See, I live in New York, so I went to bed so late watching those fight. It was worth it, though. I saw my Dominican brother. You Mexican, right?
Yeah.
You used to having good fighters. Let me live. Let me enjoy this. Let me enjoy this, bro. I got one. I like this guy. What do you think of Hector Garcia?
Okay, to be honest with you, man, my co-host / my son, we didn't get a chance to watch the fights.
Oh,
we went to the hockey game, but it was worth it because we ran into Nico Ali Walsh.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to chat with him. And then afterwards, we went down to the Cosmopolitan Casino, and my kid was able to get an interview with Gary Russell.
That's interesting. What's the name of your podcast?
We don't podcast, but it's Dynamic Duo. That's our channel.
That's a YouTube page?
Yeah.
Yep. Yo, bro, if you ever need me on or want me on, I'm here, bro. And
definitely, man. Got a lot of respect for you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I likewise. You always active in the chat. I really appreciate that. How old's your son?
17.
17. That's dope. And he's into boxing, like on the journalism side and all that.
Man, you also wants to start taking fights here soon.
Ooh, that's exciting. I'm about to have a son, and my brother wants me to put him to box, and I'm like, nah. I don't know. It's dangerous, man. And the business of boxing is so dirty, man.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with them training.
Because, no. I don't have a problem with that. I'm talking about my brother wants him to compete.
They'll do it when they want to. Because honestly, mine grew up in gyms, MMA gyms, boxing gyms, and I said I'll not force competitions. It's training for sure, but the competitions, nah, man. If they don't want it, then it's not worth it.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. They'll quit. They'll quit on their own if they're not tough enough.
Yeah. Or just if they flat out just don't like it.
Yeah. Getting punched in the head is not fun.
It sucks.
but you saw the Catterall Taylor fight?
I didn't get a chance to
not even that one?
I couldn't see anything because the hockey game is at the T-Mobile Arena in New York. And parking that night cost a nice little chunk of money. And my cheap ass wasn't gonna pay twice. So I was like, all right. Park at the by the hockey stadium, and then had to walk some miles to go to the Cosmopolitan. Walk a lot trying to look for people.
Okay. Yo, have you heard any rumors about them bringing boxing to Agilent Stadium? What's it called? Where the Raiders play? Because I remember they were thinking of putting Wilder Fury there, but then that kind of fizzled out. I don't know if in the city, in local news, maybe you've heard of something where there's strong rumors of a fight there.
No, I haven't heard anything yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. But they're waiting for that real big super fight. Like we're talking like a Mayweather Pacquiao super big.
Oh, right. Damn, man. I know, because the stadium, from the outside, that's one of the best looking stadiums I've ever seen, man. That and where the Rams play. So I would love to see a fight there.
Yeah, I want to see some big super fight, but who could do it? Honestly, who's the big enough stars to do it?
The thing is, Canelo's big enough, but he doesn't have a big enough B-side.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
That's what it is. Because you could say Charlo, but Charlo is not that. He's not a superstar, no.
And I got respect for the Charlo brothers, but no, Sorry.
No. Benavidez, no. There's nobody really. I mean, have to be a heavyweight fight. Tyson Fury versus AJ, but that fight makes
Nah, it's
sense
not
in the
big enough
UK.
either. I don't think.
Nah, that's big enough. That's big enough. Those are two huge men, man. Like for a heavyweight title, especially if AJ beats Usyk, it'll be for undisputed. Nah, man, that fight's big. That fight's big. Heavyweight fights are a lot bigger internationally that us fans here in America realize. That's why when you hear Tyson Fury is getting paid $36 million in his next fight, you wonder how the fuck is that? When it comes to heavyweight championship fights internationally, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Like there's fans across the world that only watch the heavyweights.
That's sad.
It's sad because they'll miss a fight like Anka. Oh, you ain't see the fights. Ancaja's lost to
I know the results.
Fernando Martinez. That fight, they missed that fight just because the fight was at 115 pounds. But that fight was as entertaining as any heavyweight fight I've ever seen.
Yeah, and then I knew Garcia was going to beat Colbert. I mean, I'm not one to disrespect fighters, but Colbert's got pillow hands, realistically.
No, he does. But I just figured, listen, because I do my research, as you know. And Garcia, what I saw is he was 100. He was really 126 pounder.
Yeah,
you know, so he was a smaller guy who's taking a fight on short week notice. And then I looked at his box rec picture. His hair is all faded. He's all bald and shit. I'm like, this dude's 30 years old. I was like, this dude ain't beating Colbert. And listen, to my pleasant surprise, my Dominican brother came out and put out a great performance. Man. As you can see, I'm excited. So he definitely put up a great performance. I'm like, finally, I get to talk some shit, man. I get to talk. Yo, I used to work at a catering hall, and the dishwashers are Mexican, and we would talk boxing all the time.
Yeah.
And they would make fun of me relentlessly about Dominican fighters because they were Mexican. They're like, "Oh, what are you gonna say? We got Chavez, we got Marquez, we got Morales, we got Barrera," and I would just be there like,
Marquis Sosa,
huh?
Marquis Sosa.
Murky Sosa, yeah, he fought light heavyweight, but he was too much of a brawler for he wasn't nobody. The only one who got us Dominicans excited was Joan Guzman. Joan Guzman got the Dominican Republic excited, but the thing is, motherfucker would never make weight.
Eating too damn much.
Yo, eating too much fucking plátanos, all that shit. Yo, my man was never making weight. Never. It'd be like, oh, and he was in the same weight class. Oh, I lost you. He was in the same weight class with Pacquiao. I hear you. I can't see you though.
Oh, okay.
He was in the same division as Pacquiao, Marquez, Morales, all those guys, and he never got those fights because the fights that he was winning to get to them, he wouldn't make the weight. And it's like, fuck, it was frustrating. I remember at one point it was him and Edward Valero who were gonna fight, and it was a big deal. Oh, these, Valero the puncher against the, the slick, smooth boxer of Joan Guzman, but the motherfucker, I like it. Talking about Joan Guzman is like the greatest what if, man. That guy was so talented, but he just could never make weight.
It's the discipline. You know who he reminds me of now that you're saying that? Manastapierda. That was always his biggest
who?
Was making weight.
No, who you said?
Hands of Stone.
Oh, Duran?
Yeah. That's what he's reminding me of. I mean, that whenever they talk about greatest of all time and Duran's name comes up, all honesty, it's the discipline. I've said this to everybody. I said a disciplined Duran is pretty much like an unbeatable Duran, but that was always his issue. He was just not disciplined.
That's what happened with him in the rematch. In the rematch with Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah,
he ain't come in shape. Got beat up.
Look at what Tommy Hearns. He admitted in the documentary The Kings that he was more interested in those two chicks that were waiting for him at the hotel room. I mean, he was happy to get knocked out. Wasn't even training, having threesomes and stuff. And yeah, as a man, it's great, but you know what I mean? At that level, it's like, come on, man, you're not gonna.
I see what you're saying. Nah, for sure. But yo, Coach Frankie, definitely. You got Instagram, Twitter, anything like that?
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah, definitely hit my DM on Instagram. It's Broadway Joel, spelled normally. Hit me up, follow me, DM me, and let's work something out. Well, I could go on your channel and we could have a boxing conversation.
Definitely. I
Yeah,
really like that.
I would love to meet your son.
I can have him call in. He can tell you the interview with
For sure. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down.
Russell. Yeah, because I think we know who Russell's next opponent's going to be.
Who?
He's not admitting it, and our video is not going to come out till 3:00 Pacific time. That interview, anyways, but he didn't confirm it. But we're suspecting somebody's on his radar.
Who? You don't want to? You don't want?
You know what? I'll let him call in if you want. I'll let him call in.
All right,
Look
cool,
his lazy ass off.
All right, cool. All right,
All right, man. Good seeing you.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, bye.
Shout out to Coach Frankie, good dude. Has a YouTube channel with his son. I guess it's called. I'm assuming Dynamic Duo. Let's check it out. Let's all support. You know, he's a subscriber of mine. So if he's a subscriber of mine, let's support him, man. Shout out to him. I'm a subscribe. So if y'all would like to do the same, please do. I'm gonna be on there. Apparently, he said he's gonna have me on one day. But anybody else want to call in? Just click the link at the top of the chat, and you already know we can have this whole boxing conversation. Y'all can ask me about anything. So far, right now, no breaking news. Y'all know when I go live, I'll be checking the breaking news for you. Yo, yesterday, no, not yesterday. Friday, mad breaking news was happening. I was giving y'all the beans. I told you about the WBO not sanctioning fights in Russia and not ranking Russian fighters. I told you about Canelo announcing he's gonna fight Bivol. I told you about Ryan Garcia, how he announced his fight April 9th at the Alamo Dome against Emmanuel Tagoe. All that came from Broadway. So if y'all were live on there, y'all know I'll be giving breaking news as of right now. I guess everybody's just riding off that high. My man Hector Garcia got that dub. Shout out to Hector Garcia, my Dominican brother. Y'all already know for sure I had to fucking rep my team, rep my flag. But yo, any questions, man? Let me know in the chat. Ask me in the chat anything you guys want or call in. The link is pinned to the top of the chat if y'all want to call in and be a part of the conversation. Again, yo, I need one Dominican to call in, man. Give me one Dominican to call in. I need a... Where's Ari when you need him? Where is Ari when you need him? I need to celebrate with my Dominican brothers. Come on. I need him to call in. I need some Dominican to call in right now so we can celebrate. We need to celebrate. Last night was a good night for us, man. Shout out to Hector Garcia for giving us Dominicans that fun night last night. Giving us something to brag about. Giving us something to talk about. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. I hope that wasn't just a one-hit wonder, though. That's one thing I hope. Don't get me this fucking excited. Don't really be like the Knicks. I was saying Dominicans are like Nick rooting for the Knicks. Don't really be like the Knicks. Have one good year, and then all of a sudden start flopping and shit and start pissing me off and losing and not making weight. Don't do that, Hector, because I'll be on your ass. But shout out to my man Hector Garcia. Oh, we got another caller. Assistant Coach AJ, what's going on, my brother? How you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I hear you're a world famous journalist who interviewed Gary Antoine Russell.
Yeah, I interviewed him last night. Oh gosh,
How was that?
It was awesome. I mean, great fighter. You know, real nice guy. Got a nice selfie with him.
He was approachable.
Yeah. I mean, he was in a rush. He wanted to get go eat, but he was okay to do an interview.
I hear you got some big breaking news. How there's rumors as to who he may fight next.
So I asked him who he wants to fight, and me and my dad, we both think he didn't officially confirm it, but we both think it's Josh Taylor.
I don't see that fight happening. I mean, I can see him wanting it. I understand him wanting it, but the reason I don't see that happening, one, the top ranked PBC whole business problem. And two, Josh Taylor, after that performance yesterday, I know you didn't watch the fight. I spoke to your father. He said you guys missed it, but he didn't look good in his last fight. I thought he lost. They gave the decision to him, but I thought he lost. And after the fight, he said he's moving up to 147, that the weight's getting too much for him. But hey, I like that energy. I like that energy. The fact that he's coming out saying he wants to fight the best, fighting the guy with all the belts, I respect it. I respect it.
I mean, he's a good fighter. I mean, he pivots a lot. I mean, granted, he's a southpaw, but I mean, I didn't watch his last fight, but all the fights I've watched, honestly, all the brothers, they all have the same style, and it's all good. You know, style's really good.
Yeah, I just think for he gets a hit a little too much for Taylor for me. I feel like I would favor Taylor in that fight. Yeah, I think he comes out to knock you out, and you're not. And I feel like if you do that with Josh Taylor, there's a recipe for disaster. Also, Josh Taylor's like significantly much taller than him. Josh Taylor's a long fighter. But yeah, I don't see that fight happening. But if it does, God bless him. Hey, let's see it. Let's see it. Who your favorite fighters right now? I want to know what the young generation likes.
Definitely Canelo.
Canelo. All right, that's a good choice. Canelo's definitely a great choice.
I like both Charlos.
Charlos. Okay. Well, you know who I need you to start following? Hector Garcia. He just beat Chris Colbert yesterday. My Dominican brother right here. My Dominican brother got a W last night. I need you to be a fan of Hector Garcia. Can you do me that favor? Just watch yesterday's fight. Look, how about this? Watch yesterday's fight against Chris Colbert and Hector Garcia. If you're not impressed by Hector Garcia, you don't have to be a fan. But if you are impressed, I need you to support my Dominican brother Hector Garcia. Can you do that for me?
All right.
Thank you. Follow him on Instagram or Twitter, whatever he has. By the way, I spoke to your father. I told him if you guys ever need me on your show, I told him hit me up on Instagram, Broadway Joel. Just DM me and we'll coordinate it, and I'll go on you guys' show anytime, man.
Hey, what do you think about Nico Ali?
I don't think he's good, to be honest with you. I heard you interview him. I don't think he has a future in this sport.
I didn't get a chance to fully interview him because we were going night stuff, so I didn't get a chance to interview him. But I did ask him about the Colbert versus Garcia. What do you think? He's like, he wanted Garcia, but he said, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I talked to him for a quick minute.
No, I'm saying like his.
Yeah, that's literally what he told me. He went,
like meaning of the performance?
No. Oh, this is before the fight. I asked him,
saying like, he doesn't know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. But to answer your question, I really don't. I saw him live. I went to the Madison Square Garden for the Lomachenko fight, and he fought in the undercard. And I didn't come away impressed. That guy looked like a club fighter. But to be fair, he just kind of picked up boxing. So, let's see if he can develop into something. But I haven't seen anything that impresses me.
No, man, I'm a fan.
You're a fan of him? All right.
Yeah, same with all Russell brothers.
Okay, all right. Yo, but your name is what's your name? AJ?
Yeah, AJ. Yeah.
AJ. All right, AJ. Thanks so much for coming on. You anytime you want to call, you see me live and you want to call in, don't hesitate to click the link. So I don't know if you're subscribed to me. I know your father is. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't.
I need to get a Google account to do on my phone.
Get that. Listen, if you do you have a Yahoo email or a Gmail?
No, but I can create one easily.
Yeah, even if it's just to subscribe to my channel, just one subscription, man, do it and tell your friends.
Hey, still my line now.
Yeah, nah. But like I said, man, hit me up. I'll be on your show anytime, my brother.
All right, definitely.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, bye.
Bye. Shout out to AJ, my man, coming through. I'm gonna be on his show. We're gonna make history. He gonna have a legend on his show. But guys, anybody else want to call in? I'm not going to be on much longer. So if anybody wants to call in, you guys have, 15, 20 more minutes till I hop off. So please click that now before, it's too late. And I don't want you guys to miss out on your chance. But anything else in boxing you guys want to talk about? It doesn't have to be about the fights last night. But if you guys want to talk about that Hector Garcia fight, just know this is a safe space for it. A safe space for it. And y'all can fucking call in. I want a Dominican to call in. That's what I want. I want a Dominican to call in and wild out with me, man. For real. Yo, Randy, are you on? I know Randy's Dominican. With Loma out the picture, why hasn't the Haney Cambosos fight been made yet? Well, why Loma's not out of the picture? And I know you're referencing the war with the Ukraine, but Loma actually left the Ukraine and he's in Greece right now. So he left right before everything happened. I guess, you know, he was like, listen, I'm not fighting in that war. And he did. And a lot of people were saying that, like, he's a coward, he's this, he's that. And, you know, I'm not going to call nobody a coward because I don't know what I would do in that situation. But, yeah, he's out of the country. He's in Greece right now. He put pictures on the beach. He's good. Let me see if I could find that for you. Yeah, nah, he's not. He's not. That fight's not in danger. I just don't know why it hasn't been announced. I don't know why it hasn't been announced. That I don't understand. Because if you guys have agreed on everything, the 2-fight deal, both fights in Australia, this, that, why? All right. So what's the problem? Sign it. Announce it. When's the date? Look, this is Vasyl Lomachenko in Greece right here. He's at the Saint Pantaleon. I don't know. I can't pronounce that monastery. So yeah, so he's in a safe place right now. I mean, that's good for him at least. You know, he got out of there before shit got crazy. I'm not gonna be the one to criticize him because you know he left the war. I mean, I don't know what I would do in that situation. Assistant coach AJ, I forgot to mention Jesus Ramos. I'm a fan of his too. Yeah, all right, Jesus Ramos. I'm assuming you meant did you see Arslanbek Makhmudov last week? You know, you know what's funny? Boomerang. Oh, I guess Boomerang. I had it in mind to watch it because of you. Honestly, you've always put me on, and I didn't get to watch the fight, but I did read about it, and from what I heard, he didn't look good. From what I heard, I'm gonna find the fight on the internet though, because you've always, you know, pushed that this guy's gonna be a good fighter and stuff like that. So, most of my subscribers are knowledgeable, so I'm definitely gonna check him out. Don't worry about it. I have not, but thanks for reminding me. Put it like this: next time I go live, Boomerang, I'll be educated on what he did in his last fight. And we could talk about it. Put it like that. Next time I'm gonna watch it today. But yeah, man, great night of boxing yesterday. Except that decision, the Catterall Taylor decision, that was BS. That's the only thing I would say upset me. But other than that, I was very satisfied with last night, especially my man Hector Garcia. Shout out to my Dominican brother. Hold on 1 second. Oh, yo, has the DAZN card started? Hold the fuck up. Yo, I know Okoli's fighting. When I mean has the zone card started, has the Okoli fight started? I'm like, all right. Oh, they got Ricky Hatton's son fighting. Oh man, I'm definitely not watching this shit. I was gonna go off live. I'm definitely not gonna go off live for Ricky Hatton's son, man. That dude is doo doo. All right, you guys seem to be done with me. No longer active in the chat. Nobody calling in. Let me check the news real quick. Make sure nothing breaks right before I hop off. 1 sec. Hold on. Nah, right now, nothing's happening. Yo, but did y'all see Terrence Crawford immediately after the hold on 1 second. Did you see Terrence Crawford immediately after the Josh Taylor fight what he said? Because Terrence Crawford, he has a long memory. If anybody talks about him, he just waits until your next fight. And he goes, oh. And he says some slick shit. He did that shit to Jermell Charlo because Jermell Charlo was saying, why isn't he in the pound for pound list? And then he had a draw with Castano, and Terrence Crawford goes, "That's why you're not pound for pound." But look, he wrote, "Stop disrespecting me. I'm different." Immediately after the Josh Taylor fight. And he goes, "I bet it's a draw." Meaning he thought that they weren't going to give it to Catterall. They were going to make it a draw, but even though he lost. And then he went, "Ooh, wee," when they announced that bullshit ass decision. So Terrence Crawford has a long memory, man. Terrence Crawford don't play that shit. Terrence Crawford does not play that shit. He has a long memory, and he waits. He patiently waits until you fuck yourself, and then he comes out the woodwork and says, "Don't talk about me. I'm different. I'm different." You seen the WBO ordered, I'm going to just say Janibek versus Munguia. That's a nice fight. I have seen it. And Munguia needs to make a decision. Is he going the WBC route and fighting Charlo? Or is he going the WBO route and fighting Janibek? He needs to make a decision. He really does. And it's unfortunate that we have to push Munguia to be in a fight we want, and they have to be ordered as opposed to him voluntarily or him petitioning to fight, or what, you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited that it looks like in his next fight, he's going to fight somebody serious. It looks like he's going to fight somebody who's going to give him enough resistance where we're satisfied with his performance if he wins, because we're not going to be like, "Oh, well, he should do that against that guy." I like that fight, Janibek versus Munguia, and Munguia is definitely an offensive fighter, an entertaining fighter, and is somebody who is buzzing in the Mexican population. Is Taylor robbery top 3 robbery of all time? Hell no. Damn, bro. The decision wasn't that bad. I can name fucking like 9. Look, the Pacquiao. Let me decisions that were worse than that. Chavez versus Pernell Whitaker. That was a horrible decision. Lennox Lewis versus Evander Holyfield. That was a bad decision. If you want to go back even further, Jersey Joe Walcott versus Joe Louis. That was a bad decision. There's a lot of bad decisions, man. A lot of them. That Josh Taylor one ain't even top 20, top 100. I had Taylor by 1 point, but I was not convinced. That penalty killed Catterall. I listen, man. I don't know how you can see Taylor winning. I really don't. I felt like he got dropped. Well, I ain't feel like he got dropped, and I felt like in the earlier rounds, my man was controlling the whole fight. It was like the rounds Catterall won were very, very clear. I feel very clear. Yo, anybody want to call in? Again, yeah, pushing it, because I'm about to hop off soon. Pac-Man has a couple. Yeah, a lot of people feel like that Jeff Horn fight he should have got. A lot of people feel he should have got that Bradley fight, the first fight. A lot of people feel he lost the first 3 Marquez fight. A lot of people feel that way. You know, so there's a lot of fights involved that the fans have come away unsatisfied with the decision. To make that Josh Taylor one top 3 of all time would be ridiculous. No. There's been some bad decisions. I've seen a lot of them, man. Mosley versus De La Hoya the second time. I want to say Hopkins was in a bad one. Was he? I'm trying to remember. But there's been a few bad robberies, man. A few of them. Quite a few of them. Yeah, man. Yo, but I wonder where Josh Taylor, who he fights from now, though. All right, he says he's moving up to 147, and he has the Super WBO, meaning when he moves up, he'll be ready to go. Oh, hold on. Damn, you see? That's what I'm talking about. Look. Breaking news. Vasily Lomachenko returns to fucking Ukraine. Look. Vasily Lomachenko returns to Ukraine to join the Belgorod Dnestrovitsky Territorial Defense Battalion. Look, and he right there with his army. So you look like a midget, man. Man, he looks so short. That gun bigger than him, man. That gun on the side, bigger than him. But hey, shout out to him, man. He went back. He's defending his country. But I don't know where that leaves him as far as like where that leaves the Kambosos fight. Maybe that's why the fight hasn't been signed. I don't know. I really don't. Maybe. But I do want Kambosos to announce his next fight already, man. It's like, god damn, I want to see it. It's like, don't hold up you got mad belts. Don't hold them shits up now. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that fights once a year. Don't. I fucking hate that shit. Those once a year guys. It's some bullshit. All right, I'm about to hop off, but before I hop off, hold on one second. That was for Undisputed though. I know, but there's been a lot of undisputed fights, like in the 2-belt era, 3-belt era, or in the 1-belt era, when when 1 belt meant you undisputed. That it went the other way when it shouldn't have. Judges didn't like all the grabbing by Catterall. It's the reason. No, I agree. No, I think he was holding, but at times Taylor was smothering him so much where he was forced to hold or he would fall. I don't know. I feel like Taylor was smothering his work a lot of the time. That guy got balls, and so do the Klitschko brothers. We pray for all their safety. Absolutely. I do as well. I was rooting for Victor Postol yesterday. I was upset of the stoppage. And the reason I was rooting for Victor Postol is because he's Ukrainian and he was having a problem in his country with the war and all that. It's hard not to root for him. Taylor would hold just as much, though. Taylor would hold and punch. I agree. They were both holding, but I do agree that what's his name? Catterall was doing most of the holding. But guys, I'm about to hop off. But before I hop off, I'm going to annoy y'all one more time and celebrate my Dominican victory and show y'all the pictures of my man beating Colbert. Look, boom. These are beautiful pictures. Boom, body shot. Look, he was working the body too. But what really impressed him was that right hook, though. Look, boom, straight left hand. He was catching him with jabs. He getting hit. Boom. They gotta have this the way he dropped them. Look, nice to the body. Look at that. Look at that. I know I'm annoying y'all. Oh, dropped them. I might have to get that framed. My man had his skirt all open and shit, showing his underwear. Look. Dropped them. Oh man, shout out to my man Hector Garcia, man. Hector Garcia put in the performance of his life, and he changed his life because he's fighting Roger Gutierrez now for a belt. And let's say he wins that fight, you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna be in position to fight a Shakur Stevenson. Does he beat Shakur? I don't know. I'm not saying he does or doesn't, but I definitely don't think it's a bad thing that he would be in a position to fight Shakur. That means he's gonna get paid. You know? Oh, somebody was on. Somebody was about to call in, but they hopped off. But all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. Let me annoy y'all with me celebrating my Dominican win. I wish at least one Dominican caller called in, but it looks like it wasn't meant to be. But shout out to all of y'all for sticking all the way to the end, to the live. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.